खलीफा के हम हैं खलीफा हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा। हमारा हमारा खलीफा हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा। वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा।
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and welcome back to This Week with Hazur. We are honored to present highlights from the National Peace Symposium 2026, where Hadrat Khalifatul Masih, Ayyadullah Ta'ala wa Nasruhul Aziz, delivered the keynote address. In addition, beloved Hazur also held several meetings with international delegations who had travelled to attend the Peace Symposium. Here are our highlights over the past week.
On Saturday, the 16th of May, Jamaat Ahmadiyya UK held their National Peace Symposium in Masroor Hall in Islamabad. Guests from across the United Kingdom and from around the world had travelled to hear Hazrat Khalifatul Masih's message of peace. During the event, Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen delivered a most enlightening and powerful keynote address highlighting the perilous state of the world and warned that if the current warfare is not halted, it would cast a long shadow over the lives of generations that follow. The Peace Symposium began with Tilawat, after which the National Amir and guest speakers including the Right Honourable Sir Edward Davey, Member of Parliament and leader of the Liberal Democrats Party, took to the stage.
I know of no other community in our country who persistently and continually bangs the drum for peace and brings people together from all faiths and none so we can have the dialogue that is so essential both in our own country and between countries to mark the cause of peace. Let me end on a positive note, and it is tonight's discussions. And to end by giving thanks to His Holiness for the work he continues to do. And while he has warned of the dangers, he also points the way forward.
During the Peace Symposium, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih also awarded the Ahmadiyya Muslim Prize for the Advancement of Peace to Mr. Gregoire Hongbonon for his efforts to rescue and treat mentally unwell individuals. Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen then delivered the keynote address and spoke of the urgent need for peace.
Over 70 million people perished in the Second World War, and the vast majority were civilians, ordinary men, women, and children. It is a small mercy that the death and destruction remained largely confined to that era, but with one harrowing exception. Japan, upon whom 2 atomic bombs were dropped in 1945, whilst hundreds of thousands perished immediately, the radioactive legacy haunted their next generation as well. Various studies have shown that children of survivors faced heightened risks of neurological and physical disabilities, whilst stillbirth rates climbed among pregnant women exposed to radiation. In 1945, only the United States possessed an atom bomb. But today, several nations possess nuclear weapons, whose power and destructive capabilities dwarf the bombs dropped on Japan. Consequently, if, God forbid, even 1 or 2 countries ever deployed such weapons, the resulting carnage and catastrophic long-term effects would be far beyond our comprehension. We convene this event in the hope that it may foster mutual understanding and, at the very least, inspire some people to serve the cause of peace. It was with this same objective in mind that several years ago I wrote to various world leaders urging them to set aside their differences and work together for the sake of humanity. Sadly, they were not willing to listen. And the ever-increasing volatility and disorder in the world is testament to that failure. Wars are being fought, nations are being divided, hate is spreading, minorities are being targeted. In this era, tolerance, grace, and compassion are all too often seen as weaknesses or flaws rather than the virtues they are. All the while, it is being alleged that Islam is an extremist religion and the root cause of the world's afflictions. This is a grave injustice.
When I listened to His Holiness, I listened to a visionary. I mean, he spoke as a person of a deep faith, but also with a geopolitical view. And he has given us a message, a clear message, that we are in a complex geopolitical time and we are very close to a risk of a third world war. He has said that in this case, wars are not caused due religions. The wars were caused by some countries or some leaders that they are looking for their own interest, but not for the general good and the interest of the whole mankind. I think that he's a quiet person, but very wise and with a clear vision of the current problems that our society is challenging and facing.
What impressed me the most was that there was a religious leader, one of the big religious leaders in the world, who was really speaking for and of peace. You know, the sentiment for peace was amazing. You know, coming from Germany, when the German religious Christian leaders are speaking now, they are speaking about preparing war, about weaponizing the country, about militarization. Sure. And peace is not any longer a word which they are using. So this is a huge difference, and I'm really very happy to listen to such a speak.
His Holiness's words really resonated with what is happening in the world. It meant so much to hear what he had to say. Before, I felt that peace, the words about peace, can actually be possibly empty, but with His Holiness, he grounds it in his religious beliefs, but also in beliefs that resonate with all of us.
Before the Peace Symposium, Member of Parliament in Canada, Yvan Baker, and his fiancée, Amanda Simard, former Ontario Member of Provincial Parliament, were honoured to have a meeting with Hazrat Khalifatul Masih. Yvan mentioned that he works to shape Canada's response to the war in Ukraine and sought Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen's advice on the situation.
I agree with you. I think peace needs to be the ultimate objective, of course, and I thank you for your leadership in advocating for that. I think that's really, really important.
What we have been pushing all the time.
Yeah.
Peace, 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 love, love, love.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. We could avoid many wars and many conflicts if more people thought that way and acted on that.
I feel it seems you are not going to avoid it.
Yeah, avoid.
Yeah.
So the tradition of our Prophet says you should help oppressed and oppressor. So we should also have to share with
Yeah.
people with their hand and negotiate with them. How can we stop this war?
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
This is how we can succeed.
Yeah.
Otherwise not.
That's right. You've spoken in the past about your concerns about global conflict. I've read much of what you've said, or some of what you've said, but would you share with me how you feel today about the future?
Future seems to be very bleak. And now it is up to you politicians, how far you can help and to create peace in the world. It's a very big task and difficult task and big challenge. I don't think only one country can just reform the whole world, no. So you already know what is the situation of the world, and you are in this field. But anyway, I think now, as usual, Canada is trying to play their role.
Yeah, we are. We are. But I think that your voice and your community's voice has been, not just in Canada, I'm talking about globally, has been very important. And I think that's not just calling for peace, but in offering counsel and reminding us about the importance of justice around the world. So I thank you for that.
We are a very small community, although we raise our voice, but it is not far-reaching as your voice.
Well, I believe it's a partnership, Your Holiness. I believe it's a partnership. Your voices, when I meet with members of the community, Ahmadi community, for example, in Canada, I hear your words or your teachings through that very often, espousing the same values as you are espousing. And so I think your voice reaches quite far, but it is a partnership. And
So now we can only pray that God help you.
well, thank you. Thank you for that. But I will say also that as Amanda said, you said the community is small, but she said the community is small but mighty.
Tiny but mighty.
Tiny but mighty. But I think also, sometimes, I don't know if you would agree, Your Holiness, but sometimes those who have the greatest reach aren't necessarily those who speak the loudest or in the greatest number, but those who speak with the greatest amount of credibility and wisdom and conviction, thoughtfulness, principle, which I believe you and members of the community.
This is very common. The wise people are very few. So, although we try to extend wisdom and spread wisdom in the society and advise the people and politicians, every person from all walks of life, that these are the true teachings. The main objective should be to create peace, harmony, love, brotherhood, and this is the only solution. You can create peace in the society and the world, from the smaller society to the bigger world, the world at large. Anyway, Canada is a good country. This is why our fourth successor said that I wish that the whole world become Canada and Canada become the whole world.
Thank you for that.
We hope that if you are determined to create peace in this world, you can play your role.
The following day, on the 17th of May, guests who had travelled from abroad had the opportunity to have meetings with Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen. Amongst them was a delegation from Spain, including Professor Carlos Uriarte, Senator Juan Pablo González and his wife, Mrs. Mart Rionda, and journalist Javier Adel Mezquita. One of the guests expressed his hope of a positive change in the world.
It's important, I think, the listen speech like you say to us yesterday is important to say, because it's not only speak about the day-to-day, if not the important things in the future, like yesterday.
Yes.
It's important that you say and we listen, and after we must to repeat the message. It's important. It's diffusion.
No, it is your duty now to convey this.
Yeah.
I think that His Holiness, yesterday you said to us something very important, which is that the current situation, international situation, the war, or the different wars, they have been produced not by tensions among religions, but these wars, they have been created by leaders that they are advocating for their own interest and they are not working for the common good of the whole mankind and the
Yes.
humanity. And in this
Is
regard,
it not true?
no, you are totally true, and we are totally agree with your words.
Thank you.
The separation between religion and politics is very important, and it's also very important to take into consideration that religion must play also an important role into society.
That is what we believe, that in a secular state, you should keep religion aside and politics separately. Don't mix politics with the religion. Religion is a way for your spiritual betterment. The teaching of all the religions is peace and love and harmony. Whether it is Christianity, the original teaching is good. Christianity's teaching is the same. Islam, the original teaching is the same. That you respect each other and bow before your Creator and discharge your duty you owe to your fellow being. That is the religion. And keeping in mind this thing, when you are doing politics, you should also do politics for the betterment of the people, not that to gain your own personal interests. Right? So you are right that we should make people understand that all the disturbance is not because of religion, and we should respect religion, and also make it realize to the politician that religion is not the cause of disturbance, and keep religion aside, and then do your politics. And even in the politics, the politician should also do for the good of the people, not to gain your own personal interests, right? So if they realize this fact, yes, of course there will be peace.
One of the guests, who was a journalist, asked Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen how he should explain Islam's true message to people who have reservations about its teachings.
Islam's teaching is peace, love and harmony. Respect each other. As I already said, you have two duties. One, you owe to your Creator, you discharge that duty. And the second, you owe to your fellow beings, you respect them and live with them in peace and harmony. Right? So this is the teaching. You can convey this message to your people. I have been to their international headquarters. I have been to so many places. I am in contact with so many Ahmadis. And I have seen that the original teaching of Islam is very peaceful. So you should not be afraid of the Islamic teaching. But there are some actions of some individuals or some groups which is creating problem. So if somebody goes to the university and open fires on the students in a school in the United States or elsewhere, it doesn't mean that those who believe in any religion or don't believe in any religion, or they're Catholic or they're Adventist or they hold any religion, it doesn't mean that religion teaches them to do this. That is their personal act. If Daesh and Boko Haram or Al-Qaeda, they are doing something wrong, it does not mean that it is the teaching of Islam. The teaching of Islam is what we say. And I prove it from the Holy Scripture, Holy Book of Islam, that is Holy Quran. This is why we are practicing. Where did we get this teaching from? We don't have any separate teaching. We are following the same teaching which has been given to us in the Holy Quran and which was revealed to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And he practiced it. Even his own practice is the same, that he loved people, he respected people, and even when he migrated to Medina, there he formed a joint government with Jews and atheists and pagans, and they were all living amicably. So this is the teaching. If these people from Al Qaeda or from Nigeria are doing something wrong, it does not mean that it's Islamic teaching. So you make the people understand and realize that this is a true teaching, right?
Another group to meet Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen on the 17th of May were guests from Portugal, including Professor Dr. Paulo de Moraes, João Manuel Nunes Henriques, who is a researcher at Lisbon University, Dr. João de Deus Batista Galva, and his wife, Marlene Almeida Duarte Ivora.
I'd like to hear from you, Holiness, your point of view about the conflicts in Middle East, especially in Middle East.
You see, I have been speaking on this issue for quite some time, that if Muslims unite together, then of course you will have a strength. And when you show your strength, then opponent will fear to confront you and fight with you. But here the problem is that Muslim countries themselves are not united. Until and unless you are united, there is no chance of any improvement.
Mr. Henriques mentioned that although he is not a Muslim, he believes in the message of the Holy Quran.
Yeah, this is what we say. That is, the Quran says that we should come together, all the other religions, even the people of the book of Torah and Injil. Islam says, come together on one common point, and that is, we believe in God Almighty. Right?
Yes.
So if we come all on this common point, then there will be peace and harmony between religions. And that is interreligious peace and harmony. They should help take this message to everywhere. And I appreciate that you believe in it.
Another meeting took place where Professor Rasim Khamisi had the honor of meeting Hazrat Khalifatul Masih.
How's life?
Life is very good,
Good?
I think.
Despite all these disturbances in the world.
I think that this is part of our faith, and we have to do something to change it. It's our rule is as an essential for the life to do it, to change. Every person.
You are here to make this life good.
Yes.
And for that, you let the people understand, pursue them that they should follow the teaching of the Creator. Respect your fellow beings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And discharge your duties you owe to your Creator. This is the message you should convey, and you have been conveying it. Even Palestinians, Jordanians, Middle Eastern Muslims, Saudi Arabia, Far Eastern Muslims, Pakistani Muslims, Indian Muslims, they are not following the teaching. If you follow the teaching, then there will be peace and harmony, and you will have the strength.
Yeah, that's right. I think that the idea should be the humanitarians, that how you to be human, and which kind of value that you follow. And this is values. It's not create some kind of border.
Yes, but people don't want to pay to it.
The question is the struggle between the khair and the shar.
Yes, this is what I said, that we shall continue saying this thing.
Mm-hmm. Alhamdulillah.
Whether you follow it or not. But our job is that to keep on telling the people.
Another group to meet Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen was from Italy, which included Vasco Franzoni, Professor of Law and Religion, Mr. Jacopo Passini, who is a lawyer and legal advisor to the Interior Ministry of Italy, and Dr. Michele Maritato, a professor and journalist. Dr. Michele Maritato mentioned that his work is read by millions, and he aims to create unity between people of different faiths.
At least you can influence millions of people who will understand that what is the religion, and Islam does not teach anti-state sentiments, and we should all live together amicably. This is the message you should convey.
The message is straight to the point. We have to go in the peace direction. Otherwise, the other version is war. So there's no choice. We have to work for peace
That is the thing which people should realize. If they come to realize this thing, then yes, you can, of course. Otherwise, it's just a talk.
We just have a chance, and now we have to work for this chance.
That is what I mentioned, that it should not be only the words. You should practice and act upon it. Right?
Yes.
And you are quite influential people. You should convey this message to others. You must be having very good following on your social media, so you can convey this message.
Inshallah, we will do it.
A group from Germany was also honored to have a meeting with Hazrat Khalifatul Masih. The group included Rainer Braun from the International Peace Bureau, Professor Catherine Ott, and Anja Mewes, who is a peace activist.
How are you?
You know, I'm fine. I was amazed by the meeting yesterday and impressed by your speech. And above all, that you underlined the fight against the nuclear weapons and underlined the dangers of the nuclear weapons. As peace activists, I can only say, yes, this is coming from my heart to say it was great what you have done.
Ich war sehr beeindruckt, gestern bei dieser Friedensveranstaltung dabei sein zu dürfen. Es hat mich sehr bewegt, auch Ihre Rede. Diese weisen Worte haben mich.
میں کافی جذباتی تھی حضور اقدس کے خطاب کے بعد اور ہر جملہ جو حضور نے فرمایا اس کی مکمل تائید کرتی ہوں.
Wenn alle Menschen
شکریہ.
so leben würden, wie Sie das formulieren, dann hätten wir keine Kriege auf der Welt.
کافی جذباتی اور کہہ رہی ہیں اگر ہر کوئی اس پہ عمل کرے جو آپ نے بات فرمائی ہے تو پھر کوئی جنگ نہ ہوتی پوری دنیا میں اور امن ہوتا.
تو یہ کوشش کریں ان کے ساتھ مل کے کہ کم از کم 50% جرمن جو ہیں وہ ان کے جیسے سینٹیمنٹ رکھنے والے ہوں, جذبات رکھنے والے ہوں, تو امن قائم ہو جائے گا. اسلام کی اصل تعلیم جو ہے وہ تو امن اور سلامتی کی تعلیم ہے, اور اس کے لیے ہم جہاں بھی ہمیں بلائیں ہم جانے کو تیار ہوتے ہیں اور مدد کرنے کو تیار ہوتے ہیں. ہم اپنے آپ کو نہیں تباہ کر رہے اس جنگ کی صورتحال میں, بلکہ اپنی جنریشن کو تباہ کر رہے ہیں. اللہ تعالیٰ ان کی مدد کرے اور ان کے کام کو اور آگے بڑھائے.
حضور یہ فرما رہی ہے کہ ایک ایسا ایوارڈ ہے یہ جو ان کی آرگنائزیشن دیتی ہے مختلف شخصیات کو جو پیس میں بڑا کردار ادا کرتی, تو یہ آپ کی خدمت اقدس میں تحفہ دینا چاہتی ہوں.
ٹھیک ہے,
یہ امن کے نشانی کے طور پہ.
A group from Canada, from Y Media, also had the opportunity to meet Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen.
پھر آپ کے کمیونٹی میں کافی ایونٹ پھر اٹینڈ کیا, ایز اے جرنلسٹ بھی, ایز این ایڈیٹر بھی, میڈیا کی طرف سے بھی, اور ایون پرسنلی بھی, تو بہت زیادہ پیار ملا ہے. یہی
پھر اچھا ہے, اکٹھے رہ کے کام کرنا ہوتا ہے, یہی انسانیت ہے, یہی اسلام کی تعلیم ہے, یہی دوسرے مذہب کی تعلیم ہے کہ اپنے پیدا کرنے والے کو پہچانو اور اپنے لوگوں کو پہچانو, آپس میں ایک دوسرے کی عزت کرو, رسپیکٹ کرو, احترام کرو. ٹھیک ہے, یہی چیز ہے. لوگ سمجھ جائیں تو دنیا میں جتنے لڑائیاں ہیں, جھگڑے ہیں, جنگیں ہیں, کانفلکٹس ہیں, سب ختم ہو جائیں. اگر آپ لوگ اس پہ کام کر رہے ہیں تو دنیا میں بھی امن قائم کر رہے ہیں اور خدا کے آگے بھی آپ کو اچھا ریوارڈ ملے گا. اور نہیں کر رہے تو یہاں بھی فساد ہے, وہاں بھی سزا ہے. جو نیک کام ہے اس کو تو بہرحال کوئی مذہب کا تعلق رکھنے والا ہو اس کو اجر مل جاتا ہے, تو کرتے رہیں. ٹھیک.
Amazing speech. I heard your speech yesterday as well. So I would want to ask you this question, that when there is so much of vacuum in the leadership, what is the secret sauce with your leadership that globally the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat is so well disciplined, and when you say it's not just a slogan, love for all, hatred for none. I have met countless individuals, and this is what I want to understand. Maybe our Sikh community can also learn, maybe the other communities can also learn. What is that secret sauce of leadership? That's what we want to understand.
بات یہ ہے, جماعت احمدیہ ایک ہاتھ کے اوپر ہے. They follow one hand. اس پہ اٹھنا بیٹھنا ہے. انہوں نے اصل چیز تو دل کا معاملہ ہے. جو احمدی بھی بعض ایسے ہوں گے جو ٹیڑھے ہوتے ہیں تو وہ پھر علیحدہ علیحدہ رہتے ہیں, ان میں آپ وہ چیزیں نہیں دیکھیں گے جو ایک صحیح احمدی میں ہوتی ہیں جو دل سے احمدی ہے. تو جو دل سے احمدی ہے وہ چاہے افریقہ کے رہنے والا ہے, ساؤتھ امریکہ کا رہنے والا ہے, امریکہ کا رہنے والا ہے, نارتھ امریکہ کا رہنے والا ہے, یورپ کا رہنے والا ہے, فار ایسٹ کا رہنے والا ہے, مڈل ایسٹ کا رہنے والا ہے, پاکستان کا ہے یا انڈیا کا ہے, انہوں نے یہ عہد کیا ہوا ہے ہم آپ کی بات مانیں گے اور اس پہ عمل کریں گے. اور جو بات کرنے والا جو ہے, جو جس کو بھی مانتے ہیں وہ خلیفہ, وہ ان کو یہ نہیں کہتا کہ تم مجھے میرے فائدے کے لیے کوئی بات کرو. وہ کہتا ہے دو باتوں تو یاد رکھو, ایک اپنے پیدا کرنے والے کو پہچانتے رہو, ایک اپنے لوگوں کی عزت کرو, احترام کرو, اور ایمیکیبلی سارے لو. تو جب یہ سوچ پیدا ہوتی ہے تو یہ سوچ ہر جگہ آپ کو نظر آئے گی. ہر ہفتے جب ان کو یہ میسج جاتا ہے خطبے میں یا مختلف تقریروں میں تو اس پہ عمل کرتے ہیں. تو یہ اصل میں یونٹی جو ہے نا, اور فالوئنگ جو ہے پراپر اس کو عمل کرنا, یہ چیز ہے جس کی وجہ سے اکائی ہے. ادروائز وہ دوسروں میں پیدا نہیں کر سکتے. ان میں وہ سنسیریٹی نہیں ہے, ہر ایک کے اپنے اپنے ویسٹرن انٹرسٹ ہیں جس پہ وہ کام کرتے ہیں. لیکن احمدی جو حقیقی احمدی ہے وہ کہے گا نہیں, میرا ایک لنک ہے خلافت کے ساتھ, میں اس کے ساتھ جڑا ہوا ہوں, اس لیے اس کو فالو کروں گا. ٹھیک, اس لیے وہ لو فار آل ہیٹڈ فار نان پہ بھی یقین رکھتا ہے. اور کچھ ایسے ہیں جو ٹیڑھے ہیں وہ نہیں بھی کرتے. یہ نہیں میں کہتا 100% کرتے ہیں, لیکن کوائٹ اے گڈ میجورٹی آف احمدیز ڈو اٹ.
اور ہمیں میڈیا میں آپ کا کیا حکم ہے حضور صاحب کہ ہم اپنی طرف سے تو کرنے کی کوشش کرتے ہیں, بٹ اور آپ کی طرف سے حکم ہو؟ پیغام یہ پہنچائیں کہ انسانیت کو بچانا ہے ہم نے. کوئی مذہب ایسا نہیں جو یہ کہتا ہو کہ انسانیت کو تباہ کرو, چاہے وہ کوئی بھی مذہب ہو. تو جب انسانیت کو بچانے کے لیے ہر مذہب تلقین کر رہا ہے تو یہی میڈیا کو پھیلانا چاہیے کہ ہم انسان پہلے ہیں اور انسانیت کو بچانے کی کوشش کرنی چاہیے. کل بھی میں نے یہی کہا تھا. اور عقل کی بات کہیں سے بھی ملے, میں تو بڑے بولڈلی کہتا ہوں. لوگ بڑے ڈرتے ہیں مولوی کہ جی ہم کہہ دیا کہ یہودی سے, عیسائی سے, سکھ سے, ہندو سے اگر کوئی عقل کی بات ہمیں ملے کس طرح کہیں ہم کہ اس سے لے لو. ہم کہتے ہیں لو, کیونکہ ہمارے نبی صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کا یہ حکم ہے کہ عقل کی بات تمہاری لاسٹ پراپرٹی ہے, تمہیں لے لینی چاہیے. تو جب یہ انڈرسٹینڈنگ ہو جائے کہ ہم نے اس طرح میوچل انڈرسٹینڈنگ ہونی چاہیے اور ایک دوسرے سے شیئر کرنا چاہیے اور ایک دوسرے کی اچھی باتیں اپنانی ہیں, تو مذہب کے اختلاف کے باوجود جو انسانیت کا کامن ہے انٹرسٹ وہ رہے گا. اب میں یہی میسیج آپ نے دینا ہے ہر ایک کو. اسی کا ہمیں قرآن کریم میں بھی حکم آیا کہ اہل کتاب جو ہیں یہودی عیسائی, ان سے بھی کہو کہ جو ہماری کامن چیزیں ہیں اس پہ تو کم از کم اکٹھے ہو جاؤ. ہم اختلاف مذہب کو اللہ تعالیٰ, اور وہ کامن چیز یہ ہے کہ ایک اللہ کو ہم مانتے ہیں. خدا کو ماننے والے ہیں نا, کوئی بھگوان کہتا ہے, کوئی اللہ کہتا ہے, کوئی خدا کہتا ہے, تعلیم تو ایک ہی ہے. تو امن قائم ہو جاتا ہے, محبت اور پیار قائم ہو جاتا ہے, انسانیت قائم ہو جاتی ہے. اس لیے ہیومینٹی فرسٹ ہے. اگر اس چیز کو ریئلائز لوگ کر لیں کہ ہیومینٹی فرسٹ ہے تو ختم ہو جاتا ہے معاملے. آپ نے کل جو تقریر بھی کی تھی اس میں بھی آپ نے کافی ذکر کیا. آج دنیا بھر میں کنفلکٹس ہیں, تو آپ کا کیا سندیش ہے ورلڈ لیڈرز کے لیے؟
جب تک یہ بات نہیں مانیں گے, ریئلائز نہیں کریں گے اپنے جو ان کے ڈیوٹی ہیں, ان کو فرائض ہیں, ان کو سمجھیں گے نہیں, انسانیت کی قدر نہیں کریں گے, کچھ نہیں ہوگا. ویسٹرن انٹرسٹ جو لوگوں کے ہوتے ہیں اس کی وجہ سے میں نے کل یہی کہا تھا نا کہ جو اپنے لیے پسند کرتے ہو دوسرے کے لیے پسند کرو. تو یہ تو بڑا سبق ہے. یہی ہمارے نبی نے ہمیں کہا کہ اگر اس کو ہم مان لیں کہ جو میں اپنے لیے پسند کرتا ہوں میں آپ کے لیے بھی کروں, میں اس کے لیے بھی کروں, میں عیسائی کے لیے بھی کروں, میں یہودی کے لیے بھی کروں, تو ختم ہو جاتی بات. بشرطے کہ وہ لوگ بھی مانیں. میں کہوں میں جو اپنے لیے پسند کرتا ہوں آپ کے لیے پسند ہوں, آپ کہتے ہیں نہیں تم میرے لیے پسند کرو جو تم اپنے لیے پسند کرتے ہیں, لیکن میں تمہاری گردن کاٹوں گا, تو پھر امن نہیں قائم ہو سکتا. ٹھیک ہے. جو بھی یہ
مڈل ایسٹ میں بھی بہت چیلنج اس سمے آیا ہوا ہے.
مسلمان ملک ہیں دونوں, آپس میں بھی اختلاف ہے دونوں کا. تو یہ ایمریٹس کو, یو اے ای کو, اور قطر کو, اور سعودی عرب کو, اور ایران کو آپس میں جب تک ایک نہیں ہو جاتے اس وقت تک کچھ نہیں ہو سکتا. जब दुनिया का दिमाग ख़राब होता है ना बंदे का तो फिर अकल की बात नहीं लेता वो भूल जाता है क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा तो जब हिल जाए बंदा मैं नहीं मानना जना बच्चा नहीं ज़िद्दी हो जाता है एक बच्चा बचपन में कुछ चीज़ आप मांगे उसको एक दफ़ा मांगा नहीं दी तो उसने फिर उसने चिढ़ना शुरू हो जाता है रोना शुरू होता है चीज़ें फेंकना शुरू हो जाता है और मार धाड़ करता है फिर आप उसको देते भी हैं तो वो तब भी उठा के फेंक देता है वही हाल आजकल इस दुनिया का हुआ है बच्चे बने हुए हैं सारे
The winner of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Prize for the Advancement of Peace, Mr. Gregoire Ahongbonon, also had the opportunity to meet Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen.
Je suis sépiné seulement, je sais réparer, je n'ai même pas fréquenté. वो कहता है कि मेरी पढ़ाई ज़्यादा नहीं है लेकिन मैं बस खिदमत करता हूँ
असल चीज़ दिल से खिदमत का जज्बा है और अल्लाह ताला का खौफ है और इंसानों की हमदर्दी है अगर वो है तो पढ़ाई कोई काम नहीं करती असल चीज़ जज्बात हैं जो काम करते हैं
Le discours hier m'a beaucoup marqué. Si on se mettait ensemble, on peut faire beaucoup de choses. हमें आपकी बहुत दुआओं की ज़रूरत है कल आपने जो तकरीर फरमाई तो इसका बहुत गहरा असर हम पे पड़ा है चाहिए कि हम सब इकट्ठे एक साथ होके आगे काम जो है चलाएं
हम उनकी मदद करते रहते हैं और मज़ीद करेंगे इंशाल्लाह
At the end, the guests also had the opportunity of a photo with Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen. On Wednesday, Luke Taylor, Member of Parliament, and Zoe Franklin, Member of Parliament for Guildford, had the honour of meeting with Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen. Both MPs are from the Liberal Democrat Party in the United Kingdom.
We are working on a couple of different projects in Parliament to raise not only the concerns of the community here, but also obviously the plight of the Ahmadis in Pakistan.
As far as we are concerned, we are not worried about these things. Now we are used to this type of attitude of the governments. But now the main thing is the overall world crisis for which you have to do something. Stop the war. This is the main issue now. Not only them, the issue.
It has been a dark time. We are all very much aware of our responsibility, but I have the confidence that fighting that populism is something that we can do and that
sometimes it happens that when you are too confident and optimistic, you become relaxed. And when you are relaxed, then you don't work hard. So you'll have to work hard.
Well, we are working hard, as are your colleagues. The amount of time they spend talking to us is really, really positive.
So even nowadays, when there's no election, you should go door to door to your voters. You should have personal contact with your voters. This is how you can win. Then the people around that who are not in favor of you or those who has their affiliation with other parties, they will know that the candidate or the member of parliament of the Lib Dem is coming to their voters and greeting them and having personal contact with them. Then it is quite possible they might change their point of view.
We make sure our councillors are always out every week, listening. And it's about listening, because otherwise you're going to be talking a message that people don't care about. And that's critical.
Not only give favour to the people who are in favour of you or who did cast their vote in favour of you, but even your opponents.
Yeah. We are the MPs.
Treat your opponents as your friends.
Exactly. Yeah. They are all our residents, regardless of how they vote.
Because now you represent the whole area, the constituency, not Lib Dem voters.
Exactly.
Those were highlights from just some of Beloved Huzur's activities over the past week. We now end with our final segment, the Friday Sermon Summary.
In today's Friday sermon, Huzur, may Allah be his helper, continued speaking on the humility of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Hazur, may Allah be his helper, quoted the promised Messiah ﷺ, who related an incident that illustrated the humility and care with which the Holy Prophet ﷺ would tend to his guests.
پھر حضرت مسیح علیہ السلام فرماتے ہیں کوئی شخص عیسائی ہمارے نبی صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کے پاس آیا. حضرت نے اس کی بہت تواضع خاطر داری کی. وہ بہت بھوکا تھا. حضرت نے اس کو خوب کھلایا کہ اس کا پیٹ بہت بھر گیا. رات کو اپنی رضائی عنایت فرمائی. جب وہ سو گیا تو اس کو بہت زور سے دست آیا کہ وہ روک نہ سکا اور رضائی میں ہی کر دیا. جب صبح ہوئی تو اس نے سوچا کہ میری حالت کو دیکھ کر کراہت کریں گے. شرم کے مارے وہ نکل کر چلا گیا. جب لوگوں نے دیکھا تو حضرت سے عرض کی کہ جو نصرانی عیسائی تھا وہ رضائی کو خراب کر گیا، اس میں دست پھرا ہوا ہے. حضرت نے فرمایا کہ مجھے دو تاکہ میں صاف کر دوں. لوگوں نے عرض کیا کہ حضرت آپ کیوں تکلیف اٹھاتے ہیں، ہم جو حاضر ہیں ہم صاف کر دیں گے. حضرت نے فرمایا کہ وہ میرا مہمان تھا اس لیے میرا ہی کام ہے، اور اس کو پانی منگا کر خود ہی صاف کرنے لگے. وہ عیسائی جب ایک کوس نکل گیا تو اس کو یاد آیا کہ اس کے پاس جو سونے کی سلیب تھی وہ چارپائی پر بھول آیا. اس لیے وہ واپس آیا تو دیکھا کہ حضرت اس کے پخانہ کو رضائی پر سے خود صاف کر رہے ہیں. اس کو ندامت آئی اور کہا کہ اگر میرے پاس یہ ہوتی تو میں کبھی اس کو نہ دھوتا. اس نے سوچا کہ اس سے معلوم ہوا کہ ایسا شخص کہ جس میں اتنی بے نفسی ہے، اتنی عاجزی ہے، تو وہ خدا تعالیٰ کی طرف سے ہے. پھر وہ مسلمان ہو گیا آپ کے اس عمل کو دیکھ کے.